Let's start with this for our episode. How's that sound?
Sure.
Baby, can't you see I'm calling? A guy like you should wear a warning. It's dangerous. I'm falling. There's no escape. I can't wait. I need a hit, baby. Give me it. You're dangerous. I'm loving it.
Oh, yeah.
Too high, can't come down. Losing my head, spinning round and round. Do you feel me now?
I'm feeling it.
I can't read some of the other stuff on there. It's getting late to give you up. I took a sip from my devil's cup. Slowly, it's taking over me. Too high, can't come down. It's in the air and all around. Can you feel me now?
I can feel you, Corey. I can feel you.
Okay.
You can't say that.
Well, that was quite the cold open there. I appreciate you going there, Corey. That was fun. Thank you on behalf of Kristen and I. Thank you. That was wildly amazing.
Were you a Britney Spears? Were you
Britney
a Britney Spears fan as
leave
a
Britney
teenager?
alone. No, I was not. As a matter. Well, listen. Let's go. Let me rewind a second.
Okay.
Gotta be honest.
I was in high school.
Yep.
Every high school guy liked Britney Spears.
Yep. There was
Sure.
a time
But
when she
other
was
than that-
everything. Yep.
No, the music is pretty bad.
Did
We
you?
would never have guessed that from the lyrics you were reading. I mean, it
Oh.
seemed great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know at this point, that was Britney Spears' "Toxic."
Yes. Which
From,
is, apt.
2004-ish, probably.
Yeah,
my guess.
that's a long ways ago.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I'm going to wildly embarrass him on this podcast. When I first started working at Crossroads, Remington, he likes to sing. I don't know if you guys know that about him. He'll just
Yes.
randomly sing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was
Yes.
a very popular womanizer. That's what it was. Womanizer, you're a womanizer. And I have distinct memories of Remington up in the youth room, just kind of womanizer. Ooh, ooh. And it was just fantastic. That's one of my first memories of Remington
yes.
way back in the day. So yeah,
If he's not singing it, he's probably whistling it. So
Yes.
he's a whistler.
He's a
He likes to
whistler
whistle.
now.
Yeah.
wet that whistle, Rem. Wet that whistle. I don't know why. Why did I just say that?
We're off to a great start. This is all because she sang a song called Toxic. What's happening right here? It just ties to the theme. We're talking about toxicity.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
It's so good. Okay, so we're here. We're talking about
Yep.
toxicity. It's this series that we're dropping. It's a toxic podcast dump called Toxic. And in the last episode, we talked about toxic faith. Today, we're really kind of leaning in toward the toxic relationship piece of that.
Oh, yes.
And leaning into how a lack of forgiveness can really create toxicity in our lives. And so that's kind of like the big picture where we're going today. But the reality is, and I think we don't realize this often enough that it becomes a problem. Anytime that we allow unforgiveness to fester in our hearts, it just starts to grow roots, and that over time becomes bitterness. It becomes hatred. It can separate and really become toxic in a lot of relationships. And so that's why you may wonder, like, what are we talking about forgiveness for with toxicity? Well, if you're not willing to forgive, that really becomes the foundation for really, truly toxic relationships in your life. So you don't want to allow that toxicity to grow roots in your life.
Yeah.
And we have enough problems already.
Yeah.
Aren't we into this huge era right now where we're trying to eliminate toxins from our foods? Is that happening right now in real time? Is that like make America healthy again?
Yeah,
Is that,
the Maha thing.
Maha.
Yeah.
Yes. We're getting rid of toxins. Do you guys know anything about this? Are we,
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Not a
That's
lot.
fantastic. Kristen, you got any information on this?
Nice sound.
Were you just lost in the conversation?
No,
This is
I
good.
was just like, okay.
Okay, so what, some of that
so we
transition
can get
there.
into
Yeah.
toxic foods, but do any of you care about toxins in your food?
Well,
Not particularly.
I'd like to know what's there, but it's
you
probably not
think
going
it
to stop
will?
me from eating it. Not very often.
I
Yeah.
literally drink Diet Mountain Dew more than water, so I would
Yes.
imagine some of the toxins you're going to
Yeah.
talk about are right
well,
here. Yeah.
actually, I'm going to take a slightly different spin on it
Oh, what
because
you got?
I also don't really care about a lot of toxins in our food. I know they're there, probably.
But they're
I tr-
delicious.
Yeah, I try
Okay.
to make sure that I'm not going too overboard on
Okay.
some things.
That's
but
fair.
I
Want
have to
balance.
give. I think the last episode, Corey gave a disclaimer on that you're not a biblical scholar. Is that what that was?
Okay.
Well, I'm not a nutritionist.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I'm
Fair to
not
know.
a scientist or a doctor.
We can neither confirm nor deny the
I just-
details that Kristen is about to give us regarding
Yeah,
food. So
I'm
please
just-
do not plan your diet around the substance that she endorses in this podcast.
Thank you.
And we'll speed that up by about 50%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
make that sound like lawyer speak. It's
Okay.
fantastic.
Okay.
Okay. We can neither confirm nor deny the
I
details
just-
that Kristen is about to give us regarding
yeah,
food. So
I'm
please
just-
do not plan your diet around the substance that she endorses in this podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. I just searched Google.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's a
Here we
good
go.
place to start. Yeah.
what did you use before? Gronk?
Gronk. Close. Yeah.
Yes. I called up Rob Gronkowski.
Yes.
And we had a conversation and he gave me some
About-
info. No,
It's for football
Grok.
stats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grok.
Yes.
Grok.
Grok.
I didn't use that.
Correct.
I'll use that next time though.
Okay.
Okay, so I figured all of us, we probably all like candy, right?
100%.
So candy is actually not necessarily toxic
Oh,
for
okay.
you.
All right.
It's just not
We're off to a good
beneficial.
start.
It's not healthy,
Yes,
yeah.
it's just not beneficial mostly to your dental health. So
Yep, that makes
That's
sense.
fine. Just
so
brush harder.
brush harder, brush 5 times instead. but I looked up like some candies that have been taken off the shelves
Oh.
for whatever reasons.
Oh, I really hope this isn't candy I grew up just eating a whole
Uh-oh.
bunch of. I'm nervous now.
No.
What's
Okay.
yeah? Think of some things. What's missing that you used to have? That's
Atomic
not
fireballs.
candy cigarettes.
Those were taken off, but not for like toxicity,
Yeah.
but just for like
The fireballs were, or the
no,
cigarettes?
the cigarettes.
Oh, it's not a
Candy
good look.
cigarettes.
It's not a
Yes.
good look for kids to be. But I
Yes.
remember those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what you got, Kristen?
Okay, so the first one of them that was taken off was Kinder Eggs. So if you don't know what Kinder Eggs are, they were hollow chocolate eggs with a toy inside. So
That's real.
yes.
So an obvious choking hazard. It's in the
Yes.
candy.
So actually, they took it off not just because of the choking hazard, because they figured most kids would either one not choose to put that toy in their mouth.
Most kids, though. That's
Most.
the yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And then, or they would like get it in their mouth and they'd be like, oh no, like,
Oh.
and take it out of their mouth. So
And then they also realized what's in the toy was probably super toxic.
maybe, but so they took it off the shelves because it contained a non-nutritional object
Yeah.
inside.
Okay.
So
Sounds accurate.
it was here's some fun little facts about it. That was in the 1930s that they
Oh, that's
that
a
they
long
took it
time
off.
ago. Okay.
But in 1997, they were recalled. And then if any citizens were caught smuggling the Kinder Eggs into the United States, you could be fined up to $2,500
Whoa, that's
So,
serious. What was in these
per
Kinder
egg.
eggs?
Per egg.
Per egg.
So it's
Yes.
contraband.
Yes.
And Kinder eggs are contraband.
Today, every egg
Yes.
is that expensive anyway. So who cares?
Yep.
My word.
Okay, this next one will kind of hit home for you.
Okay. What do we got?
Haribo
Careful.
gummy bears.
Which one? Oh,
Haribo?
Haribo.
That's-
Yep.
That's
Yep.
that's banned.
No, okay. There's more
They're
to
super
it. 'Cause
toxic.
I knew it would
Okay.
get personal. So
Don't
anyway,
those cause immense gastrointestinal issues if you eat too many Haribos? That's what I've heard.
okay. So you're along the lines
Is this
there.
okay? I'm just
so
curious, yeah.
they came out with a sugar-free option.
Ah, yes.
And people thought that they were making like a healthier choice, but really the main ingredient is matadol.
Okay.
Matadol, which is it's glycogen, and then the main ingredient in that is matadol. I guess whatever that is.
Oh, thanks for clarifying that.
Sorry. which is used in laxatives.
so it is.
So it is. Yes.
Okay.
You were.
That's
yes.
beautiful.
Yeah, so
I
they-
saw somewhere there was a challenge where people would eat a whole bag of Haribos and then see how long they could
yeah.
last without really having issues. Okay.
Well,
that's,
yeah. So they had such terrible reviews. It was so overwhelming that they just took them off the shelf.
Among
That's
gummy bears, they're not the
amazing.
best anyway. They're rock
No,
hard.
they're
yeah.
not
They are.
good.
They're
Give me
not very
those Albanese
chewy.
gummy
I
bears. Yeah.
agree. I agree.
I like the Dollar General. Like they're version is great.
I just go straight to the Sour Patch Kids. I like all the punch. Yeah, that's
Okay.
I need it. Yeah.
Okay, so
interesting.
here are some toxic food that you wouldn't have like known that are natural.
Surprise us with some
Okay,
stuff.
so the worst natural food that you could eat that is super toxic is raw kidney beans. If you, it's very important that you like cook them correctly. Otherwise,
Really?
yes, or you will be left with insane stomach pains.
Oh, that's good
So-
to know.
Oh.
I don't
wonder
know
if,
how
like, the
often you're
can-
eating raw.
Well, yeah, I wonder if the canned stuff is already like cooked.
You think
to
it's
a certain
pre-cooked?
degree. Probably.
I don't know.
I just. Why do we
Beans
are
in general, they give you
I don't
the,
really eat kidney
the
beans
gastrointestinal issues
other
anyway.
than like chili.
for chili? Yeah, I mean, you just buy stuff at the store and you're like, oh, it's got to be safe, right?
Yeah.
Just to be clear, does toxins in your food just lead to gas? Is that what we're talking about here? And
Pretty
just,
much.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
Pretty much.
Part of it.
Do you like tomatoes?
Love tomatoes.
Ketchup. I like ketchup.
Right.
All right. They at one point were once feared that they were poisonous.
Tomatoes?
Yep. So here's the backstory. When tomatoes arrived in Europe, apparently they were shipped there. I don't know.
From where?
I don't know.
Okay.
When tomatoes arrived in Europe, some wealthy Europeans apparently got sick after eating them on pewter plates. They wrongly blamed the tomatoes when in reality the acidity of the tomatoes leached lead from the plates,
Oh,
making them
my goodness.
ill. So it was just a reminder that it's maybe not the food,
Whoa.
but
Oh, interesting.
Whatever
Yeah.
you're using.
Yeah.
yeah,
How they
So-
serve it. Oh, that's interesting.
So all the tomato haters out there are probably gonna run with that one.
Okay. Avoid
But-
the pewter plates also. Yes.
Well, they're probably better now, but anyway.
So,
Okay, one last toxic food. Thanksgiving. Go to Thanksgiving.
okay, it's got to be the cranberry topping.
No, do you like rhubarb pie?
Oh,
Do
no.
you have
no.
rhubarb pie at Thanksgiving? Actually, now that I think
Nah.
about it, is that Easter?
Never been a rhubarb person.
The people who like strawberry rhubarb stuff, I don't like rhubarb. It's just gross. Just strawberry's good enough on its own.
I would agree with that.
Okay,
So talk to us about rhubarb.
Here's your fun fact. If you were to eat rhubarb, you can only eat the stalk. You cannot eat the leaves. There are toxins all within the leaves. The leaves have calcium, and it's so much that it will build up and will lead to kidney stones and kidney failure.
Oh, you're telling me you eat rhubarb and you can get a kidney stone? That sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm out.
But here's the more unfortunate fun fact is that during World War I, there was a food shortage and they didn't know about that. And so they recommended people to eat the leaves of rhubarb. So they all were insanely sick.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay, that's stuff from history you've never heard before. How about that?
The things that you don't think like could be toxic. We had when my wife and we lived at a different house, but we had planted these actually really great looking perennial flowers.
Okay.
So come back every single year. They were beautiful, and I started reading about them, like how to take care of them, and they're like, just be really careful because they're poisonous. I'm like, where was the warning when we bought those?
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's why I
that
don't
did
do
not
any
exist.
type of yard work or landscaping. None of that. That's why I stick to Diet Mountain Dew. Surefire candies like Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, M&Ms. No toxins there. We're good
Of
to
course
go.
not. Those Sour Patch Kids.
I literally have the diet of like a 7-year-old kid. That's
Sure.
cheeseburgers plain.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Plain.
Cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
What?
plain.
just cheese. Yeah, that's all I need. It's delicious. Don't ruin it. Go to Subway, just the meat and cheese. I'm great. I'm their
Oh, my
favorite
word.
customer.
Okay.
Yeah, I literally, and then I want Sour Patch Kids and Ben and Jerry's ice cream. That's my diet. That's why I have to work out so much to not be wildly obese. Yeah,
That's fine.
now you know.
man.
Now you know. Okay, so those are the toxins in our food. We need to avoid those toxic foods. So in the same way, let's get serious now. How do we avoid building up those toxins spiritually? Well, the most foundational way is to not get into that trap where you are not forgiving others. And so this has been a thing that people talked about and struggle with for thousands of years. Specifically, I love this conversation that Peter has with Jesus. It's always Peter, right? He's always putting his
Right.
foot in his mouth, doing the things. Jesus is teaching in his parables and teachings to be forgiving. And Peter asks Jesus this question. It's a valid question. He says to Jesus, how many times should I forgive someone who sins against me, who offends me?
Yep.
And he says, up to 3 times, because back in that day, like that was kind of the standard. You forgive somebody 3 times, and if they keep hurting you, then shunned. Like, close the door, they're gone, they're dead to you. And so Peter in his mind is going, like, 3 times? Like that seems, I've been very patient. I've turned my cheek the other way, turned it again. That seems generous. And Jesus responds by saying, not that many times. I just realized in real time it was 7.
7 times.
Yeah. I was like,
Peter
3.
said
Well, they're both
7
good,
times.
both good biblical numbers, 3 and 7.
Yes,
right?
they are. Peter said up to 7 times. The law of the day was 3. So,
okay.
so Peter
okay.
was being super
that's right.
generous,
Yeah.
like going way and above and beyond.
Yeah.
Should I forgive my brother up to 7 times? Jesus says, no, Peter, forgive your brother up to 70 times 7.
Yeah.
490 times, which floors Peter and everybody around him. And the whole point of that is Jesus is saying you have to have a heart that forgives. Because if you are harboring unforgiveness in your heart, over time, that just grows roots in your heart that lead to bitterness, and it only hurts you. Going back to the toxins in our food, they liken bitterness to a poison that you swallow, and you drink that poison, you swallow that poison, hoping that the other person dies. Like that's what bitterness is. It only hurts yourself. And so that's why when we talk about forgiveness and circling this principle today, it's so incredibly important, because if you're not willing to forgive others, man, it creates toxicity in your life really quickly.
So are you saying, just to circle back for a second, are you saying when Jesus said 70 times 7, 490, which I've heard it also said like 77 times. So
there are different translations. Yes, correct.
Are you saying he doesn't mean like take a scratch pad and use tally marks to count the number of times?
You get up to 490 and then it's done.
In that case, 77 sounds better than 490, but I don't know. So that's not the point. That's not what he's saying. Yeah.
That's not the point.
Okay.
You have to have a heart that forgives. And I think what it comes down to is the principle is I've got to be willing to forgive others the same way that Jesus forgives me.
Yes.
Because when you flip that around and you go, how many times have I offended Jesus by my actions?
Yeah.
How many times have I made the same mistake or chosen to do the same sin in my life over and over again in my lifetime?
Yeah.
Would it be 490 over your lifetime?
Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm thankful for the 70 times 7 because the reality is we tend to look at our own grievances and the people that have offended us, and we hold on to that offense, and we forget. Sometimes I offend other people.
Sure.
Sometimes I'm the person who is in the wrong, and I need to forgive other people in the same way that God has forgiven me. And there's something to be said about that. People don't think about this very often. I think probably in the Catholic tradition, this is more front of mind in terms of the Lord's Prayer. That's what I'm referencing. And in Catholicism, you're basically saying the Lord's Prayer every time you gather.
Yeah.
And we don't do that as much. Maybe when you go to a Notre Dame game, you hear the Lord's Prayer there, Corey. They do that every home game. They
do it in the
prayer.
locker room, and they say it very quickly. It's incredible, actually.
Really fast. It's really fast. It's impressively
Good for
fast.
them. Well done.
Yeah. And there's times at Crossroads where we'll say the Lord's Prayer or quote that, but it's not like, every week.
Yeah.
But when you're at a funeral and you say the Lord's Prayer, I mean, that's when Jesus taught his disciples to pray, that was the prayer he prayed.
Yep.
He's like, this is how you should pray.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of that, just for posterity, we'll say it. It's our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. To be clear, the people at Notre Dame would already be done. They've already zipped through this. That's how fast they say that prayer.
That's correct.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And here we go. And forgive us our trespasses.
Man.
As we forgive those who trespass against us. That's a pretty powerful statement. And lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. And then I'll go Notre Dame speed. For thy kingdom, the power, the glory forever. Amen. That's about how fast they go. I'm not taking crazy pills. That's how fast they go.
Fast.
It's very fast. So the principle there is forgive us our trespasses, God. Forgive me my trespasses as I forgive those who trespass against me. Like, those two things are tied together. And I think as soon as we lose sight of that, that's when we start allowing that to grow roots and it can become toxic.
Well, it's actually really clear. I mean, you can't miss it, actually, if you're reading through that prayer.
Correct.
It's very obvious that's what Jesus wants us to do. And if we're going to have radical grace given to us, which is what we have.
Yes.
frankly, if we all got what we deserved, well, our plight wouldn't be very good, actually.
Yeah.
We don't get what we deserve because of the grace of Jesus.
Yeah.
And if he offers that much grace, and it's exponentially bigger than you think it is,
Oh, yeah.
for us to even dole out any kind of grace at all, it will just never compare. And so, like, we have to live with that mindset.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it really does hurt you more than it hurts anybody else for you to harbor unforgiveness towards someone or something or whatever the case is.
What's interesting about that is that it's true that forgiveness also then it's not a feeling, because very rarely am I going to feel like, oh, I forgive you. Because let's be clear, there are different levels and types of offense. I mean, it's you forgot to pick me up after school today, Dad.
Oh, this sounds personal.
Yeah, right. Or you really, really hurt me. Like I was the victim of abuse.
Yeah.
It's like it goes deep, and it's not that you just forgive someone and forget like it ever happened. Like everything's fine.
Right.
Well, sometimes relational trust is broken. There's this recognition that it's never going to be the same.
Yeah.
But you still can come to that place of forgiveness, and you don't always want to. Depending on what you've experienced in a different relationship or situation, it can be really painful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But getting to that place of forgiveness really ultimately has nothing to do with the other person or what they've done to you. It's in your heart, just being willing to let that go. Because at the end of the day, you harboring that bitterness and what turns into hatred in your life, that toxicity, that person has no idea that that's it. You're only hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you have to choose, I'm going to let this go, because it can mess with you.
Yeah.
It can mess with you.
Every time I think about the person that hurt me the most and I want to be angry, I always think, they don't think anything of this anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't
They're
live
living
there.
free.
They don't live there.
Yes.
It's just me.
And that's pain. I mean, even that recognition is kind of painful, because, like, oh, I'm letting this.
Why don't they
they're
live
living rent free
there?
in my head. Yeah. Oh, that's wild.
So it makes me think, Chris, and maybe you can explain this a little bit. Like, when we were kind of brainstorming, talking about this topic of toxic, I know that we started talking a little bit about like the whole trend about let them. And I know that's very much a thing. Can you kind of explain a little bit more?
I know nothing about this. So teach me. What
I
is let
haven't
them?
read the book, so
Oh, great.
I could
Sweet.
be.
What does Gronk say?
I couldn't. The let them theory is if people are doing something that maybe like you don't agree with, you don't like, or I don't know. It's just let them go. Like, let them, if they want to walk out of your life, let them. Or if they want to discipline their kids this way or that way, like, let them. And even if you don't like it,
So rather than try to control it or correct
it's
fight
giving
it.
up control. The people who feel like they have to control all of the situations.
That's interesting.
Honestly, like, I didn't love the theory at first when I had first heard it, because I was like, what? Like, that's not what we're called to do. Like, we're called to help people. And,
Sure.
But when I actually Googled it, I think her name is Mel
Gibson.
Robinson.
It's not Mel Gibson. I know that.
No, not Mel Gibson. But
Mel Brooks. What other Mels? Come on, let's go for it. What do you got? Nobody?
No.
I don't know. But anyway, I searched. It's a female. I searched if she was a Christian, and supposedly she is.
That's hilarious. So it's the idea of let them. Just like you don't have to control it, let it go.
Yeah, and
That's an interesting thought.
In thinking about that, like, a couple things come to mind. One is like, it sort of jives with the or allowing yourself to forgive somebody for what they've done, right? Because it's like, well, if they did that thing and they're moving on, just let them. It is what it is. Like, what does holding that grudge do for you?
Yeah,
it doesn't
Waiting
really
for
do
the perfect
anything.
apology.
If you can let it go and let them just be who they are, then that's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
There are are times that you need to intervene a little.
Yeah. Depending on the offense, depending on what has
yes.
been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree that does impact it. But at the end of the day, I don't think any of those things, no matter how large or small, impact your choice. Like, no matter how painful it is, if I don't forgive, I have to come to that conclusion that me not forgiving someone, at the end of the day, it only hurts me. And so
Yeah.
that's I think the recognition we all have to have. That's how it becomes toxic, and
Yeah.
you're only hurting yourself
I think it's
if you don't forgive.
just like you explained, Kristen, too. I think it's helpful for us to recognize, like, with the let them theory and everything that goes along with that, it really puts a lot of focus on yourself. And that sometimes makes me a little uneasy because basically the theory is you're responsible for your own happiness.
Right.
Right.
And okay, I can get behind that on some degree, but like we talked about this in our last episode, that really the point of faith, the point of following Jesus, is to draw people close to him and to help
Right.
them make that connection with him in the same way that
Yeah.
you have.
Correct.
And if you become so introspective and everything is about yourself, then you're missing such an incredible opportunity to show the grace of Jesus to other people.
Yeah,
And so, like,
that's right.
because Tim, I know that people are dealing with that. Like, people not only at Crossroads, but like everywhere are dealing with because this episode is about toxic relationships, right? Ultimately, who are dealing with people in their lives who they would say that's a toxic person.
Oh, they're driving me crazy,
But also,
they're causing
like,
me pain.
Yeah, in a lot of scenarios, it's like that's actually a person that I don't know if I can get rid of that person in my life. Like, it's maybe a family member or a coworker, and
You have to figure out how to navigate that.
what do you do? What would you say to people who are in the middle of some of that stuff?
Well, first of all, it's acknowledging that it's not easy. That's like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of times you get like a, oh, I saw this beautiful meme on Facebook. This will solve everything. This is the perfect phrase for you. Think about this phrase that you saw written in the clouds. It's beautiful. It'll solve all your problems. No, it's difficult.
Yep.
You have to choose to forgive. And I think a lot of times those are the moments where we are called to love like Jesus loved.
Yeah.
And when you say that, it's like, okay, hold up, rewind. What do you mean by that? Like, love as Jesus loved. How did Jesus love? Well, when he's hanging on the cross, he's being crucified.
Yeah.
They've nailed him to the cross. They've beaten him. They're mocking him. How did Jesus love people in that moment? He said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing.
Man.
Like, that's not the easy path,
Right.
just to be clear.
Right.
That is really difficult. But when we talk about loving people like Jesus loves us, it means sometimes I have to turn the other cheek. When I talk about forgiving others the way that Jesus has forgiven me, it's going back to that recognition of, man, yes, I've been hurt and I've been offended, but you know what? I've been on the other side of that in my relationship with God. He's forgiven me. So now more than ever, I'm being called to extend that grace. And it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it or that, imagine, trust is completely restored or
my word,
relationships aren't changed, because truly there's always going to be consequences and fallout of choices that people make. But that doesn't impact my heart and my response of being willing and able to forgive.
Yeah.
I think
it's
it's a little bit deeper than that. Yeah.
What you started with, I think, is just really important for people to know. Like, it's hard. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
And life is hard a lot of times.
Yes.
And if you're dealing with something that's really difficult, you're in good company, because most people are, actually. There's
Very few people go through life without something like that. Yeah, that's
rarely is
everybody has.
rarely is everything just simplistic and it's easy to understand and it's easy to know what to do, the right thing in the right situation. And man, life is complicated. Problems are complex, and it's not something that you can just necessarily like snap your fingers and you know exactly what to do. So keep working through just find encouragement with other people, to have somebody to talk to. Like that's really important too.
It matters. And, as we just kind of wrap up this segment and this episode of the podcast, I think it's important to encourage people who are struggling, because, man, there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of pain. Yeah. And it does no one any good to sugarcoat that. I mean, you have to be honest and acknowledge, you hurt me, right? Like, having that conversation is probably important. Going to that person when it makes sense, it's good to have that conversation. But ultimately, being able to get to that place where you are in a space of forgiveness, that is what sets yourself free.
Yeah.
Until you're willing to forgive, you are in a prison of your own making.
Yep.
And the longer you're in that prison, the deeper the roots of bitterness grow. And, I've had to deal with families in my ministry where, man, they didn't talk to each other for years.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd go back and be like, what started this? And it was a disagreement that was so easily resolved if people had just not been stubborn
Sure.
or being
Yep.
willing to forgive. It's
Yep.
like, you missed out on 20 years of your family. You missed
Yeah.
out on knowing your grandkids
Oh, man,
because
yeah.
of that. Like,
Yeah.
really? So it hurts us more than we think. And when
Sure.
we talk about toxicity and toxic relationships, forgiveness is really critical. And so I think we talk about making bold moves. I think this week, the idea to take away from this and maybe the challenge is, who in my life do I need to forgive?
Yeah.
Because if I'm holding on to unforgiveness, if I'm harboring bitterness, it's only hurting me. And so, man, today, if you need to make a bold move, it's who in my life do I need to forgive? Because that could set you free, and that could get rid of the toxicity. Then a guy like me doesn't need to show up wearing a hazmat suit.
Yeah, you're
If
still
not
wearing
toxic
that.
anymore.
I'm kind of hurt by the fact that you're still wearing that.
I know it's another episode, but I felt, better safe than sorry. I still don't trust you guys. There could be some fallout, some contagion, and I just want to be safe. Just to be clear, can we have some fun?
Let them.
Let them. Yeah. You're doing it, Kristen. You're doing it. Before we close, I think it should be shared with everyone. Right before we started recording this podcast, we had pizza delivered to this space, and I did. The door rang, the pizza guy came in, and I fully suited up. I put the hood up, tightened it up, and I answered the door with this kind of face, like... And Corey and Chris, you guys are all behind me.
Yeah.
And that pizza guy, he was a little bit weirded out.
Yes.
But he was wildly intrigued by what was going on. He's like, what's going on
Well,
in
he
there?
saw camera equipment and everything that we're using to produce
he was
this podcast.
deeply intrigued by what was going
And
on in
Tim
here.
said, "Hey, you want to be on the podcast?" And he said, "No."
Shot down. And that was hurtful. But you know what? Full circle. I forgive him.
Yeah.
I forgive him.
We
I will
tipped-
not allow that to become toxic.
When we ordered the pizza, we tipped in advance. Just be honest, I'm sorry, buddy. We didn't give you enough.
It wasn't enough.
For what you had to deal with.
Hopefully he finds it in his heart to forgive us. We forgive him.
Yeah.
There's no toxicity here.
Yep.
We really did it. That's awesome. Hey, before we go, that's the Bold Move Challenge this week. Who in your life do you need to forgive? Don't let that grow roots. Don't be toxic.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the bold move we can make. We'll see you next time.